Where is Akon City at right now?
Our goal is to be the first phase to be done still by 2026. You're going to have the hotel, the Akon Tower, which is built, which is the corporate building, loading docks, restaurants, the stores that sell food and everything else like that. And it's going to be ambulances and a mini hospital for that. It's going to be the biggest hospital in Africa.
We drove inside the city and this was all I saw. This right here is the only building that has been built in Akon City.
There's no way you genuinely thought a musician was about to build a real life Wakanda, bro. Especially Akon out of all musicians. First of all, what even went through this bald nigga mind to even think he can build a Wakanda-like city in Africa? Who gave him the keys to the city to even build this shit? You can't even do that shit in Sims. Mind you, this is the city he was trying to sell to the people, and this is all they've done.
You won't believe what's happening with Akon's so-called futuristic city in Senegal. Remember when he popped out with that wild plan to build his own real-life Wakanda? Yeah, solar-powered, crypto-based, next-level utopia in Africa. The media went crazy. Fans were calling him a hero, and for a second, it actually looked like Akon was about to flip the script for the entire continent.
Akon City is going to be the first futuristic smart city in Africa.
And are you working on that now?
Oh yeah, we're in process working on it as we speak.
But fast forward a few years, and this dream, it's looking like a straight-up mirage. That big piece of land where Akon City was supposed to rise, it's mostly dry grass, a couple random buildings, some cows wandering around, and one sad little sign claiming it's the gateway to the future. Except there's no city, just dust and disappointment.
Last time you were here, you're saying that Akon City was supposed to open in 2026.
Yeah.
So where is Akon City at right now?
We're still on track.
And let's not forget the Akon cryptocurrency he hyped up. It was supposed to power the entire city, create jobs, boost local businesses, and give African economies a digital edge. Sounds dope, right?
Well, Akon City is for the future, and it's for the youth, because the whole idea, if you're gonna build a city, you gotta be thinking the future. You know what I mean? I think the city is right now, it's a 10-year project, estimated. With all the latest new technologies, though, it might get shorter. You know what I'm saying? But with current technology, if it exists the same, which I doubt, it should be 10 years. But I want to keep the threshold for 10 so we don't under-deliver to an extent. So if we finish early, that'd be great. But the whole idea is to create what the future of Africa should be. You know, we have all the resources, we have the manpower, we definitely have the population. So it was just a matter of putting something in a country that can pretty much scale out to every other country that we can copy and paste.
But behind all that smooth talk was a mess. Confusion, missed deadlines, barely any traction, and some moves that had folks raising their eyebrows.
Line, everything will be inside it, by the way.
Like everything you need, grocery stores,
Everything.
gyms, entertainment.
Subways,
It's
transportation.
so crazy.
Once you're in there, you're in there.
Now, here's the twist. Reports say the Senegalese government ended up taking most of the land back and handed it over to another investor, who's now planning a luxury state-backed resort instead.
Platinum-selling artist Akon is working on a new business venture. He's launching his own cryptocurrency called Akon. Akon says Akon will be the currency for his futuristic town under development in Senegal. When asked how the currency will work, Akon replied, quote, "I come with the concepts and let the geeks figure it out."
Akon, he got left with a tiny piece of land and a whole lot of nothing to show for that empire he promised. So now the question is, was this just a good idea that fell apart? Or did Akon finesse everybody with a fake savior act?
Looking at Akon City as to become the beginning of Africa's future. And our idea is to build a futuristic city that incorporates all the latest technologies, cryptocurrencies, and also the future of how African society should become in the future.
Let's break it down and pull out the real receipts. When Akon first dropped the news about Akon City back in 2018, people were hyped like he was really about to make history. He said he was building a high-tech city from scratch in Senegal, straight out of Black Panther vibes. He called it a futuristic Pan-African paradise that would bring the diaspora home, uplift local communities, and make Africa the next big tech hotspot.
We're approaching Akon City, as you can see. That is Akon, and it says Akon City.
The best city. You have to go, guys. You have to do it.
All right, we're almost close. That's the Akon City over there. We drove inside the city, and this was all I saw. This right here is the only building that has been built in Akon City. Although this building looks futuristic, but this project is looking like a disappointment. And switch, the first stone was laid in 2020, and since then, the whole area around it has been mostly grassland with animal grazing on it. Citizens have been promised mouth-watering job opportunities and a better economy, are now beginning to question the efficacy of a deal with the federal government and the celebrity Akon.
He wasn't just talking small either. Akon promised everything. Hospitals, schools, luxury cribs, massive malls, 5-star hotels, a subway system, a tech innovation center, a stadium, and even a damn airport.
Country. So we're starting with the hospital first. You know, the hospital is going to the hospital alone is close to $1 billion, just the hospital. Because it's going to be one of the biggest hospitals in all of.
But the dream hit a brick wall fast. Because when reporters and YouTubers started flying out to Senegal a few years later to check on Akon City, what they found? Crickets. No buildings, no glass towers, no tech hub, just wide open land, a dirt path, some cows chilling, and one sad little sign saying, "Welcome to Akon City."
Oh, the infrastructure part. You were building Akon City.
We're still building it.
You still building it.
Yeah.
So why are they saying it stopped?
It's a big dream. It's something that it goes beyond the capabilities of what they think one man can create. And what they don't realize is it starts off as a dream and then it continues as something that becomes a reality as people start to adapt it for the future, 100%.
Well, I'm happy that you're still building the city.
Oh, yeah, they ain't gonna stop.
Because the media, so do you now put out a press release? Or you just let them talk?
Well,
How does that work?
All you can, because you can't fight the internet.
You can try.
I mean, listen, I got teams on it trying to combat all the negative, false information ads that these people are putting out. And just last week, we had over 23 million false ads on Akon City, just negative.
Where is that coming from?
It's the agendas, the powers that be. That's how it works.
Okay.
You know, when they want to destroy something.
That was it. Akon swore up and down that phase 1 would be finished by 2023, starting with a hospital. But guess what? There's still no hospital, not even a foundation laid. Locals on the ground are saying it loud and clear. They haven't seen anything real come out of Akon's promises. Some folks didn't even know what this whole city was supposed to be. One resident told the BBC, "We were promised jobs and development. Instead, nothing has changed."
They're like, yo, what's taking Akon so long? What is he doing with the money?
I think people kind of fail to realize sometimes when you build an infrastructure how long it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how long it takes you to build your house. That's gonna be about 19 months, easy. So now we talk about building a city. These are things that takes 10, 15 years of development just to get phase 1 going.
Yes.
And I think my biggest mistake was I promoted it heavily before I got it started.
Gotcha. They want microwave.
Yeah,
right. Away.
So when I say, I'm building a city, so now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have time to get the plans together, promote this shit. I had the 3D rendering all on the internet so people saw what it was gonna be looking like. I'm not knowing that people thought that the city was already up.
They're saying there's a race between you and Dr. Umar Johnson who's gonna get their shit up first. The school hasn't been built yet.
But I built over 20 schools already.
Oh, that you smoked them, man.
The schools are easy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about building a city. That's a full infrastructure.
And just when you think it couldn't get worse, it did. Turns out the Senegalese government officially took back most of the land that was handed to Akon's company. And guess what they're doing with it now? Giving it to another investor who's building a state-backed luxury resort. Meanwhile, Akon's left with just 8 measly hectares of land, a tiny slice compared to what he started with. Akon kept tossing out excuses for all the delays. First, he blamed COVID. Then he said investors were getting cold feet. Later, he turned the finger toward the Senegalese government, claiming they were making it hard to get permits, finalize land deals, and approve paperwork. But at no point did he take real accountability. Instead, he started saying some shadowy forces were trying to sabotage him, pushing a smear campaign to kill his vision of a real-life Wakanda. But let's keep it real. This wasn't just a little delay. It was a full-on collapse. That billion-dollar futuristic city Akon hyped up, it's now nothing more than dust in the wind, and nobody can answer where the money went or who's holding the bag. And when it comes to Akon, the so-called revolutionary crypto, the team behind it wasn't even African-led. Most of them were Western finance and tech execs, which goes completely against the grassroots Pan-African dream Akon was selling. And let's not ignore the whispers. People started calling Akon a straight-up pump and dump or even part of a Ponzi setup. Nothing's been proven yet, but the red flags were waving hard, and we haven't even touched the lawsuits coming next. According to the BBC, a government source confirmed it didn't just slow down, it completely flatlined. No real construction, no visible progress, and absolutely zero serious funding to back any of Akon's futuristic promises. So after all that hype about tech hubs and solar-powered cities, the government basically pulled the plug and called it what it is: a dream that ain't ever waking up. And Akon? He recently admitted to NPR that he went overboard with the promotion, but he's still out here claiming Akon City will happen. He just can't say when. At this point, it sounds more like wishful thinking than a solid plan. Now, zooming out, this whole situation speaks to a bigger issue. Akon isn't the only celebrity trying to rebrand themselves as a philanthropic entrepreneur. Africa has become the go-to stage for flashy projects from outside players, some who mean well, and others who are just chasing the bag while pretending they're saving lives. And let's be real, the Akon City fantasy gave Akon everything he hadn't had in years: major press, investor hype, and a shiny new image. He went from fading chart history to global headlines, all while talking about changing the world. And here's the craziest part. Akon still hasn't faced any real accountability. No major investigation, no legal heat, no refunds for investors, and definitely no explanation for the communities that got left in the dark. Folks are out here wondering where the money went, while Akon's still chasing press interviews like nothing happened. So now the question everybody's asking, was this all a genuine plan that fell apart? Or was Akon playing the long con from day one? Maybe he meant well, maybe he didn't. But the end result is the same. Money gone, trust shattered, and yet another story of Africa being used as a stage for someone's legacy fantasy. But what do you think? Was Akon ever serious about helping the people, or was it just a shiny PR hustle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and turn on those notifications. I'll catch you in the next one.